Hello everyone. I got in to do a movie. I can't believe it, a video. I don't know what's gone on this week, but it's been absolutely crazy. I had to sneak in here because a friend of mine needs me to come over today and help her with a baby blanket that she's doing for her great granddaughter. And my husband ran to Costco, so I thought this is the perfect time to do the index card. And before we get into this, I pulled two of my cross stitch patterns. There were several people that want me to begin to show what I've done. And I think what I'm going to do is do a video and show you one of my favorite rooms because I've got several cross stitch in there. So I think I might do a room tour, and I have to get that room ready. I mean, come on guys, you know how it is. You have to. You have no choice. But anyway, really quick before I show you, and if you're not interested in seeing them, just fast forward. It's not a problem. I don't care one way or another. It's fine. This is what we are going to do. I have a 4x6 index card, and this is what I came up with, and I did come up with this morning. This was something I had seen on Gail's channel a while back. And this is kind of my take on that. So it is a flip. You could put a pocket up here if you wanted to. I didn't really, it was not that big a deal to me, so I just left it. But if you flip this down, you have a pocket here, and I did a cute little tag here. This is all scraps, guys. Lately, everything I have been doing is scraps because my scrap pile is so bad. But then I stitched a papers in here. Here is dress pattern paper. I think, is this dress pattern paper? I think, yes, that's dress coffee tea dyed paper, and some, not cardstock, but just some printed paper, and the back's got that on it. And so I just thought this was a really cute project. You can put it inside your journal. You can use it as a journal card. So this is what we're going to be making today, and I hope you all like this. But before we get started, I pulled two of my bunny cross stitches. This is one of them. I know there's probably just bad glare. Absolutely adore this one. This family of 4 bunnies is just so cute. And I had it mounted with double, what do you call this? You know, your, oh geez. Anyway, yeah, I had it mounted. This, I think we were living in Virginia when I did this one. And so this is one, and you can see my initials here. The one thing, if I could go back, the one thing I wish I had done was I wish I had put the dates, because I didn't put the dates on anything. But yeah, we were living in Virginia, and we lived in Virginia in the early 80s. So that will tell you how old that is. And this one coming up, I think, is probably about the same. I think I did this when we were in Germany, which would have been in the 90s. I'm not positive. There's my signature. But yeah, I had this thing for bunnies and just thought, I mean, this is just cute. It's so cute. And I have a thing for hearts. So this was, to me, perfect. And we lived in Georgia, and this may actually have been, because we went from Germany to Georgia, This may have been from there. Home is where the heart is a huge saying in the South. And so this very well may have been one that I had done then. So we would still be in the 90s at that point. So that's the first two. Many of them I gave away because I literally don't keep my work. Let me make sure if I'm in frame. Excuse me, but I have to stand up. I want to make sure the lamp is not in the way. So I think we are good to go. So if you want to continue seeing, if you want me to do a, I have a room in this house that's really dedicated to my primitives and my antiques, because here in Arizona, I mean, when you live in the South, oh, the antiques are wonderful. It's kind of a country feel, and primitives are fantastic. And I mean, you really, for the most part, don't see Southwest decor in the South. Here, you get a lot of Southwest decor, and you really don't see primitives here. You can, but for the most part, you don't. It's a lot of Western, a lot of adobe, a lot of what you would expect, kind of like New Mexico, Arizona. It's just, I like it, but I gave up quite a few of my primitives. I let them go because I just really had no place to put them. So anyway, that's a whole story. But if you're interested, I will show you my room, take you through, and kind of tell you where things came from and what they are. So just let me know. But meanwhile, let's get busy making this little cutie pie, what I think is cute. So I should have everything that I need right here, and I will explain exactly what I did so that, and I will give you measurements because I know many of you want those measurements. So like I had mentioned, my index card is a 4x6, and so this is a piece of cardstock that I cut 4x6 to go right on the top of this. Get out my ruler. And so we are going to have a top that opens up and a bottom that opens up, or I should say this flips up, this flips down, and so we need hinges, right? But before we attach these, we need something that this string is going to wrap around. So what I did is I took my ruler and I found the center, marked it, took my awl, and poked a hole. I don't know if you can see that, but I poked, there's a hole right there. You can see it on this side. There's a hole. So I did a hole on the top, a hole on the bottom, and the way I decided where to place those holes is I just went ahead and just checked. I punched these with a 1-inch circle punch. Just wanted to make sure that they were separate from each other. I didn't measure. If you are concerned with that at all, this top part measures 4 inches wide by 3 inches high. And then I punched the hole right at the 7/8 mark. And then this bottom piece, this should be 4 by 4. And I punched this hole, if we're looking at the top, so it's going to open this way, then I punched this hole at the 2-inch mark, right in the center. And so then what we're going to do, and for those of you that don't have a 1-inch hole punch, you can always, you can see I didn't center that very well, but that's okay. I just punched these holes out with a paper, one of those paper hole punches. I didn't use my crocodile and I didn't measure. But you can take like the bottom of a little jar or a button or something, just trace around and cut that out. So before we attach these, what we need to do is get these on, get our circles on. So what we're going to do, I pulled out 2 little brads. I had some orange flower brads, and I'm just going to stick those on there just like this, and then I'm going to come back. And I probably really don't need to put masking tape on them, but it's just a way to finish them, and I like to do that. Also, I rounded the corners of the top and the bottom piece, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Let's get this on there. To lay flat. Okay, so this is going to flip down, so I rounded the top corners. This is going to flip up, so I rounded the bottom corners. You don't have to round any corners, I just wanted that look. Now I'm going to take a piece of masking tape and I'm just going to put it over the brads because it gives you a smoother finish when you put something, you lay your paper on top. Like I mentioned, you don't have to do this. You're not going to see this. You're not going to see the brad, but it just kind of smooths that out and takes out any possibility that that brad could tear the paper or peek through. So that is why I do it. And then you gotta stop and think. Okay, I attached that and then did the inside. Okay, so the next step is going to be to attach our hinges. And what I'm gonna do is attach them with washi tape, and it's gonna go from the front to the back of this, and this is going to be adhered. You're not going to see it. So we're going to put washi tape on this. And let me just get, and because washi tape is not permanent, I like to come in and just put some glue on there like that. And please be patient getting this off. This has a backing to it, and it's not the easiest thing to peel. I think I prefer washi tape without any backing. It isn't any more sticky with this backing. It's just harder to get to. And I thought, I'm going to be on camera and this is going to be difficult, and was hoping it wouldn't be. And of course, I cut my fingernails yesterday, so there you go. No fingernails. And I did try to use a tool this morning, and that didn't work either. And we have to do this because I have to have it. Obviously, I have to use it. So, like Gail likes to say, just talk amongst yourselves. And one way or another, we'll get this going. Come on, you. So hopefully, while I'm fidgeting with this, everybody's doing well. We've had a lot of rain. And the monsoon season this year has really been something else. I would say forget the backing, but I don't want this to come up. I don't want it to separate. We've got to get it. Somehow we've got to get this. It's got to come. Like I said, this is not, I like this washi, but I don't like this process. And I'm just not having luck. I don't want to make it out of paper. There, I think we may have it. Yes, there we go. Oh, see what I mean though? Yeah. Not so fun. So we're just gonna take this, and I'm not measuring it. It's just a hinge. That's its sole purpose, is to just be a hinge. And now this is where I had to be very careful, making sure I had this where I wanted it to go, all the way to the bottom, just like that. Line it up, add more glue, and fold your washi tape up. Cut your ends off, just like this. Just like that. And that will give you, and I say I'm going to have to trim just a little bit. I had to trim this side's even, for whatever reason this isn't, but you will see this. Well, let me cut this off, and this will give us our hinge. Might as well just go right ahead, cut this off just like that, and cut this side off just like that. And now we have our hinge. There we are. There's that hinge. Now we need our top hinge, and once again I had rounded the corners. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're putting it at the top, and hopefully this next piece of washi tape won't give me so much trouble. If you don't want to use washi tape, you don't have to. You can use a piece of fabric. You can use a piece of cardstock. You can use a piece of coffee dyed paper. You can use whatever you want. I just thought this gold might look really good on this particular cardstock. And so I picked it. Now I'm kind of wishing I hadn't, because you're going to sit here while I try to do this. And this is no fun. This is no fun at all. If anybody out there knows of an easier way, please let me know. Come on. I probably should have tried to have there we go. I probably should have started this before I started the video so you didn't have to sit through it, but there we are. And then you want to be careful. I almost messed this up. This morning we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to line this up as best we can, just like that, and some glue on here, and fold this washi tape over, trim the ends, and we should have our second hinge. So we trim this off. Go ahead and trim this. Now if you want to distress, I did distress and I also stitched. So I am going to be finishing this off camera because I do want to distress it and I do want to stitch it. So let's go ahead and let's do our fold this flap down like this, and you can see here we've got a pocket, and make sure you round your corners. And I made this so that it comes in and you can see the background. So this bottom piece I cut at 3 3/4 vertically by 3 3/4. So it's 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then quarter rounded the bottom ends because these are quarter rounded. I use the 1/4 inch. And so then what we're going to do with this is we're just going to glue this. And if you're not going to stitch it, you want to make sure that you get enough glue on. If you're going to stitch it, then you know you can be a little bit less generous with your glue. Then we're going to try to center this. And you want to make sure that you get it down. You push where your brad is. Right there. And then I cut out a second piece for a pocket, which is going to go right there. And I rounded this corner here so that it matches up. And this particular piece is 3 1/2 by 1 1/2, and I took a divot out, and it's going to get glued on 3 sides right there like that. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on here and center it as best you can. I come up just a little bit and in from the side so that we have that background. There's our pocket. Let's go ahead and do our top part. So if we flip that up, I have a piece that's going to sit on this, and this measures 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to glue this on, and because I'm going to stitch this, I am not going to be as generous with the glue as I would be if I wasn't going to stitch it. And you want to make sure once again that you're down over your brad. And so we've got that piece. Let's go back to this and let's do our tag. We can attach now the back to our index card. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to get your glue on there. And it's the same thing. If you are not going to sew, then you're going to be generous with your glue. Let's match this up. And get this down just like that. And we've got that. So now we want to work on our little tag. The tag that I made looks like this. And so I had a die cut. That's the color that my cardstock was, and I went ahead and put some vintage wax glaze on this, and then some vintage, I went over it with vintage photo. And then I just grabbed these little pieces of scraps because, like I mentioned, this is all scraps today. So we have this little brown piece here that I have a little yellow piece. Let's see, make sure it's on the right side. So it goes like this. And this is kind of channeling Corey once again. Then I have a little piece right here that we are going to put on this side. It's got some print on it. So what we've done is we've just layered three scraps of paper, and then I have this tiny one that I am going to glue right in the middle of this yellow piece. And it's easier to grab the thin piece. Before I was watching Corey's videos, I would have thrown all these things out. She's got me where I'm keeping everything. My husband picked up the recyclable container that I keep up here, and he says, "Aren't you recycling anymore?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am, but not like I used to." And then sometimes it just becomes so overwhelming. I just dump it because I can't. I'm like, let's just start over. I like to come in from the edge because I like to see the tag. But yeah, everything I've been doing lately has been all trying to get rid of my scraps. And if you remember the journal planner that I did, and thank you so much, that's sold. It is on its way to its new home. I had two 12 by 12 pages left, and I am creating another planner. Not a planner, I'm creating a little journal that I'm going through and just filling it up with scrap ideas that I have. So I'll be sharing that with you very soon. And the second one we will do together. So I'm going to put this little guy right there. Texture, color, and just a little bit of interest. And then because I was doing Ann Brooks 52 tags, I have a lot of pearl cotton. I am no longer doing Ann's 52 tags because I just don't have the time. And, it was a decision that I do not regret. So it was the right decision for me. And I'm happy I made it. Then what I did is I took a piece of the blue and I just tied a knot to make a little string, and I used this because this is what I used on the front. And I wanted them to go together to look like they belonged. And so we're just going to tie a knot. And I'd like that knot to be at the top. Tie our knot. I did hear from one person with the giveaway, so that is in the mail and gone. So we've got this, so this can go back in here. And this one, so cute. I mean, guys, come on. That's so cute. Will go in here. And then before next week, I will come in and I will stitch because you can see everything's been stitched around. It's all been stitched around. So now what we're going to do is I've got these papers and I'm not going to put them in because I need to stitch them. But what I did is I kind of measured what my page is. It's 4 by 6. And this right here. And I just took I just went in my scrap pile and I just grabbed scraps. I mean, even though this has this, I mean, you can write on that. It's scrap paper. Here's some pattern paper, and because it's not sewn, let's get this in there. I don't want to lose that. This will get sewn, and I will show you that, and I will just double check everything before I stitch it. But we have cardstock, and then we've got coffee tea dyed paper, and we've got the pattern paper, and some more print paper, pattern paper, cardstock, and, well, not cardstock, but the Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure this is from Hobby Lobby. So then what I will do is make sure that I've got all my edges up here, and then I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, and I am going to stitch right across there, and then our sweet little book, after it's been stitched, is done. But meanwhile, for you, because I'm not stitching that, we need to put our string on the front, and so I'm just gonna kind of guess what will be a good length. And for those of you that really, really like measurements, this is probably about 12. Let's see, this is a 12. It's about 15 inches. I would rather have too much and cut it off than not have enough. So what I'm going to do is pull this underneath here, this little 1-inch disc, and then we're going to tie a knot. So there is knot 1 and knot 2, and then I am going to cut off the end, and then we have our string here, and it's just going to go, it's going to wrap around just like this. And then we've got the cutest little booklet. It's just adorable. So this all has to be stitched, and hopefully it will look just like this one. And here's our pages right there, and our little pocket with our sweet tag. And that is this week's index card, guys. So I'm hoping you like this one. Thank you, Gail, for the inspiration. And let's get on with our giveaway. So I did hear from one person, and so we have got 3. We are going to go, I never heard from this person. I did add some more names to this. Let's just go and do it like this, because I think this is going to be easier. So this one with the hidden journal spot and the pocket here and the pocket here. Let's give this to, please be watching, Junk Journal with Gina B. All right, come on, Junk Journal with Gina B. Please, please, please be there. There's that one. And then I never heard from this one. This is the one that I did the double, the tag, and you pull this out and you've got, there's your journal card right there and your little snippet. So how about this goes to Loretta Taylor. Loretta Taylor, if you are watching, I think I mentioned this last week. A lot of these names I recognize because I see in the comments. I've seen Loretta Taylor. It has been a long time since I've seen Loretta Taylor, but I also know a lot of people watch and they don't comment. So Loretta, please, if you're watching, that sweetheart is yours. And then we have this one from last week. If you remember, we had the die cut, and then we had the negative, and we created the tag. It's kind of got that little bee theme going on. So how about Rockstar? So Rockstar, if you are watching, this is yours. Please, please, ladies, go into my Etsy shop leave me a message with your name and address. And in case you have a, I just have to say, this was so cute. Somebody won, and they had a name that was, I mean, I would have never known who they were. And they left me a message saying, you know, I won. I can't believe I won. And here's my address. But I had no idea what index card they won because I had no idea who they were. And they're like, oh my goodness, you know, they just didn't even think to, you know, they just didn't even think. And I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah, I didn't know who you were. So anyway, we are making it happen, guys, and I apologize again for it taking me so long to come on. I hope to be here again tomorrow because I'm hoping I can share with you, even though it's not finished, the scrap journal that I'm doing. And then I've got a second one to do, and I thought, we'll do it. We'll do it on camera. Let me know if you're curious or if you'd like to see a room tour, and I will show you one of my favorite rooms. It's got a lot of my my keepsakes. And stay safe, be good. All of you that need rain, I hope you get it. I hope your fires are out. Just stay as safe as you possibly can, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.